So the January jobs report came in and it surprised a lot of people. 130,000 jobs, nearly double what forecasters were calling for. Not bad at all, but stick around because when you start peeling back the layers, the story gets a lot more complicated. Welcome to RealPage Economy Express. Let's start with the broader economy. The Atlanta Fed's GDP Now model has fourth quarter GDP tracking at 3.7% annualized. That is a strong number and tells you the economy had real momentum heading into year-end. Now back to jobs. Healthcare added 82,000, social assistance 42,000, and construction about 33,000. Unemployment ticked down to 4.3%, but federal government lost 34,000 positions. And here's the big one. The BLS finalized its benchmark revision and wiped nearly 900,000 jobs from last year's totals through March 2025. That means the job market in 2025 was a lot weaker than we thought at the time. You see that play out in the JOLTS report too. Job openings dropped to 6.5 million in December, down from 6.9 million in November. That is the lowest we have seen since 2017. People are still getting hired, but companies are clearly not posting as many new positions. Weekly unemployment claims came in at 227,000 for the week ending February 7th, with a 4-week average up to 219,500. Winter storms were part of it, but still worth keeping an eye on. Now the big one, CPI for January just landed this morning. Headline inflation fell to 2.4% year over year. Month over month came in at just 0.2%. Shelter rose only 20 basis points for the month, the smallest increase we've seen in a while. Core CPI did tick up to 30 basis points, but the overall direction is encouraging, and this is the kind of report that actually Fed wants to see. Shifting to housing, existing home sales fell 8.4% in January to 3.91 million annualized. That is the biggest monthly drop in almost 4 years. Every region declined. Median price was about $397,000, barely up from a year ago. Weather, of course, was a factor, but inventory at 3.7 months is still way too tight. Now, on the mortgage side, delinquencies climbed to 4.26% in the fourth quarter, up 27 basis points from the third quarter. FHA loan jumped to 11.5%, the highest since mid-2021, and that is something that, of course, we are watching closely. And consumer sentiment edged up to 57.3 in early February, the best reading since August 2025. Now, inflation expectations came down to 3.5% from 4%, which is a pretty good sign. But sentiment overall is still about 20% below a year ago, so people are not exactly feeling great out there. So where does that leave us? Well, growth is solid. Jobs are being created, but demand is fading. Inflation just took a meaningful step in the right direction. Housing is stuck, and consumers are still uneasy. Thanks for watching RealPage Economy Express.